All right, first of all, I want to thank Eden and First Baptist for hosting our women's ministry. It gives us opportunities to gather together as women to pray for each other. And also, for this specific women's ministry as we go, it allowed us to learn about how we can go and share the gospel wherever we are and whatever we do. Also with this event and other women events at First Baptist, it gives us women opportunities to invite others to church and to these events. I was able to invite one of my neighbors and also 3 international teachers who came with me to this event. And as a matter of fact, after the event, a couple of days later, I had a text from one of the ladies from Jamaica, and she was so thrilled with the event and she wants to be invited to future events. And she said she felt refreshed and more prepared to go into the harvest to share the gospel. So thank you for providing opportunities for us to be able to learn more about doing that. Some of my takeaways from As We Go, the ministry event, was God always gives us a ministry. God has a ministry for us. And it may not be as an ordained pastor or in the church staff, but wherever we go and whatever profession that we choose, and even in our everyday life, there's a ministry that God has for us. But we have to be willing to take opportunities to share. We have to look for opportunities to share the gospel with Jesus in those opportunities. And we have to say yes to Jesus. And we have to be willing to share in our ministry that God gives to us. And I'm very blessed. I work with small groups of first graders, and I am very blessed to have them around my table. And they are so inquisitive. They want to know about Jesus and God and the Bible and creation. And so we have a lot of good conversations as they ask questions about these things. I'm able to respond, and I'm so thankful for that ministry God has placed me. And because God gives us a ministry, He also equips us with that ministry. Catherine Renfro in the women's ministry, As We Go, stated that there are so many more people that want to hear the gospel than are willing to share the gospel. And I just kind of took note of that because working with my students, I do believe that's true. They are very thirsty for the gospel. And she says a lot of us shy away from opportunities or make excuses, which I'm very one of them that do that. And so, but we have to look for those opportunities, and we have to know that God equips us to share the gospel with others. Also, As We Go, Catherine Renfro mentioned that we are representatives. We are ambassadors for Christ. And I've never really looked at it like that, but it's a privilege. That is a privilege to be an ambassador for Jesus. And because I think I'm a Christian, and if I don't share Jesus, and if I don't invite others to church, then who's going to do that? And so I just think that's a privilege that we're able to do that, to invite and share. So through the women's ministry As We Go, through the Bible reading plan, and through the D groups, I feel like I have just become more aware of who I am as a Christian. I tell my students at school, I tell them we have choices. You can make great choices or you can make not so great choices, but they all come with a consequence. And in 2 Corinthians 5:20, it states that we are ambassadors for Christ. So if we are ambassadors for Christ, we must make the decision. We have a decision, but we must make that decision to go. And we must love God, and we must love people, and we must make disciples, because that is the true Great Commission.